Hello everyone. Today, I will recap the movie Real Steel, which is set in a world where super machines are gradually replacing humans. In the ring, boxers have officially lost their jobs. Charlie used to be a famous boxer, but now he is just a fighter who has passed his prime and fallen into heavy debt. With all the money he had and borrowed from various sources, he bought himself an old and ugly robot named Ambush. He brought it to a fair, where the kids saw Ambush and asked to take pictures. Charlie asked for $5, but of course, they didn't agree. Even when he kindly reduced the price by half, they still refused. He brought Ambush inside, but Ambush's opponent was more formidable than previously agreed upon. Therefore, he requested a bet of $20,000. Ricky provoked Charlie, claiming that Charlie had no money. Charlie bragged that he had enough money to fill a truck. The fight quickly began, and Ambush appeared amid cheers from the audience. Relying on his fighting experience, Charlie controlled Ambush, dodging his opponent's attacks and timing his moves to deliver a devastating punch. Charlie celebrated amid cheers from everyone. However, due to his underestimation, the bull gored Ambush, causing it to lose a leg. Charlie quickly asked to stop the fight, but Ricky did not agree. After being gored by the bull again, Ambush became a pile of scrap metal. Charlie asked the kids to retrieve Ambush's leg, but they demanded a ransom of $5. With no other choice, Charlie ran away before Ricky could catch him. Suddenly, he noticed two people chasing him and quickly punched them, thinking they were creditors. Unexpectedly, he received news that his ex-girlfriend had just passed away. Charlie needed to take responsibility for his 11-year-old son. At the trial, the boy's aunt, Deborah, was fighting for custody of her nephew. However, by law, the court granted custody to Charlie. Charlie only wanted to give custody to Deborah. At that moment, he noticed Marvin, Deborah's wealthy husband. Charlie devised a plan to give the boy to an orphanage, which would force Marvin to pay him $100,000 in exchange for custody to please his wife. Marvin gave half the money in advance and asked Charlie to take care of the boy while they were busy abroad. Charlie was delighted by this windfall and quickly contacted someone to buy a new robot. Then, he went to Towlette, the owner of a gym that was about to close down because Charlie owed her money and she couldn't afford to keep it open. However, her love for him never faded, so she continued to repair robots for Charlie. At this time, Deborah brought Max. She was completely unaware of the transaction between Charlie and Marvin. The meeting between father and son was even more awkward when Max learned that his father had sold him to buy a robot. He asked for half the money, but Charlie refused because he had none. Max was very hurt, but when he went inside, he saw his father's new robot, Noisy Boy, a famous fighter in the boxing world. The boy was very fond of these robots, and Charlie was also very happy and tried to command it. However, Noisy Boy did not move. It turned out that it only understood Japanese. Towlette found a way to convert it to English. Noisy Boy had a control panel with preset moves. Both hoped it would do something. Charlie brought it to the car, but Max took the key, setting the condition that he would go with him. The two went to Finn's underground arena. Charlie was complacent, officially skipping the smaller tournaments and declaring war on Midas, the champion robot here, despite Max's advice to take it step by step. Midas was known as the Pain Machine. After the introduction, the two were brought into the arena. Noisy Boy started strong, throwing his opponent to the ground. Midas stood up again and was hit hard, but the fun didn't last long. When Noisy Boy was about to finish Midas off, he counterattacked, hitting Noisy Boy in the stomach. Charlie was so surprised that he didn't know what to do. He didn't even understand what the commands on the control panel meant. Finally, Noisy Boy's arm was cut off by Midas. Midas grabbed its remaining arm and punched it repeatedly in the head. Eventually, Noisy Boy couldn't take it anymore and met a tragic end. Charlie was extremely disappointed that the robot, which had once been worth a lot of money, was now just a pile of scrap metal. Max was equally dissatisfied with his father, believing that he acted without thinking, and was heartless for being willing to throw away things he didn't need. Charlie was speechless, only knowing how to expel after Max into the car. Out of money, he bought a new robot. That night, the two went to the junkyard to find equipment to assemble one themselves. It was pouring rain as Charlie searched, and told his son about his golden age, but Max was careless and stood at the edge of a deep hole. Just as Charlie noticed this, the ground collapsed. Max fell a short distance, but luckily got caught in the arm of a robot and was held there. Charlie quickly ran down, grabbed his son's hand and successfully pulled him up. At that moment, Max discovered a robot buried underground. He wanted to take it home because it had saved him, but Charlie disagreed and left him behind. Max did not chase after his father, but dug up the robot himself. The rain caused the soil to slide, and by the next morning, he had successfully pulled it out. In any case, this robot had saved his life, but Max was still angry. He blamed Charlie for being the worst father. When he got home, Charlie asked Towlett to help him, assembled a pile of scrap metal he had found into a new robot. However, she had had enough of his nonsense and declared that she would earn money to maintain the gym herself. Charlie gradually began to understand the issue but still ignored it. He asked her to help him examine the robot that Max had brought home. Towlett replaced the battery and connected it to an old control panel. The robot that Charlie had thought was trash sat up, and not only that, it also began to imitate the actions of the person opposite it. Now it was Charlie and his father's turn to fight over the robot. Charlie wanted to take it apart, but Max didn't agree. The boy took it to wash. After all the mud was removed, Max saw the name Adam and decided to ask his father if he could take it to the arena. However, Towlett said it was outdated and just a training robot. Except for its high endurance and ability to replicate movements, it had no capacity for counterattacks. Despite this, Max was determined to bring Adam to the arena. He grew fond of the robot because Adam was probably the only one willing to listen to him and play with him. One day, thanks to Towlett, Max learned that his father used to be a very famous boxer and had even beaten the world's #2 boxer. Charlie stepped in, thinking that winning or losing was the most important thing. At the same time, he said goodbye to Towlett to avoid implicating her any further, then continued to drive around in his car. The two of them went to the international arena, and Charlie asked Finn to help him borrow money to repair the robot. However, as an unknown person with no guarantees, he was refused. While Max was waiting for his father, he saw Zeus, the best robot at that moment. That robot was praised as an undefeated iron puncher, designed by the top genius in the sport. The boy looked at Zeus with admiration, and was even tossed a towel of Zeus by the robot staff. Desperate after failing to borrow money, Charlie had to wait for Max to watch Zeus fight in the ring. The robots that fought against Zeus were all shattered into pieces. The father and son had differing opinions and argued again. Charlie decided to bring Adam to fight the next day to extinguish his son's vain hopes. The following morning, he was awakened by the alarm, and it turned out that Max had spent the entire night programming Adam's fighting moves. They set off for the tournament, where the boss offered 100 for a round, but Max confidently asserted that they would earn 300. Seeing the boy's enthusiasm, the boss said that if Adam could last through one round, he would give Max $1,000. This time, the opponent was a robot named Metro, with a wild appearance and one arm equipped with a hammer. Max took control, but Adam, while able to withstand the opponent's attacks, did not respond in any other way. Max was just a kid, and still quite confused about controlling and limiting Adam's moves, and when Adam was hit continuously and fell to the ground, Max rushed to his side and shouted for Adam to stand up. Remarkably, Adam woke up just as the clock rang to end the first round. Charlie could not believe it and jumped up in surprise. The boss turned around and, instead of paying, doubled the prize for the second round. Who would have thought that right at the start, Max would control Adam to throw a powerful hook at the opponent's throat? Metro short-circuited, emitting smoke, causing it to punch itself and fall to the ground. In Adam's first appearance, Charlie received his first $2,000. Someone else came to challenge him to another match for $7,000. Back home, Max continued to research and install a voice recognition device from two old robots for Adam. Through this device, Max hoped that Adam would be able to perform moves as he wanted. The boy was happy and even danced hip-hop with Adam. Max also convinced his father to teach Adam martial arts, but Charlie refused. Instead, Charlie advised Max to let Adam perform a dance at the opening of the next match to attract the audience. Max made a condition that if Charlie taught Adam martial arts, he would let Adam dance, and Charlie agreed. In the end, Charlie used his boxing talent to teach Adam the most effective defense and attack moves. Soon it was Saturday, and Max brought Adam to the ring, where he also performed a dance that excited the audience. After that, Adam continuously won one match after another. News about this new robot quickly spread throughout the newspapers and radio stations. Charlie also sent money to Towlett to pay off her debt, and repay her kindness. Soon, the World Robot Association came and invited Adam to participate in this season. Charlie couldn't believe it. His dream was so close. He was both happy and scared, while the boy calmly renovated Adam. At this time, the two suddenly received an invitation to Zeus's room. Sitting there was its owner, Farah, a beautiful and ambitious woman. She offered to buy Adam to use as a target robot for Zeus at a sky-high price of $200,000. Charlie, of course, wanted to sell it right away, but Max disagreed, saying that Adam was not an object but his best friend. Charlie chased after his son, trying to persuade Max, but to no avail. Very quickly, the match began, attracting the attention of millions of viewers across the country. Adam's opponent stepped onto the stage first. Twin was truly formidable, with two heads that doubled its vision and a team of professional controllers. All moves and movements were analyzed by a computer. Adam stepped out, performing vibrant dances from Max. Adam's team consisted of only father and son. Charlie controlled Adam while Max prayed. At first, the opponent only launched simple attacks, which Adam easily dodged and counterattacked. But that seemed to be a way to probe Adam's strength. Soon, Twin increased its speed and changed its attack angle continuously. Charlie couldn't react in time, causing Adam to be hit without missing a single blow. After a while, Charlie finally discovered Twin's weakness. Every time it swings its arm, it needs time to prepare for the next strike. Charlie controlled Adam to attack Twin's shoulder repeatedly, limiting the opponent's movements at close range. Adam punched the opponent's head repeatedly, causing a serious system error and completely disabling Twin's ability to fight. The way Twin collapsed into a pile of metal made everyone excited. They rushed into the ring. In less than 2 minutes, Adam quickly became a phenomenon. Max excitedly rushed into the ring, grabbed the referee's microphone, and sent a message to Farah. Max said that instead of using money to manipulate others, she should accept Adam's challenge, confident that Adam would defeat Zeus. After that, Max enthusiastically stirred up the crowd in the ring. Both father and son received their first amount of prize money and planned to go out to celebrate, but their plan was interrupted by the creditor Ricky at the beginning of the film. Even though Charlie promised to pay back both the principal and interest, Ricky was still not satisfied. Charlie quickly punched one of them and then dragged Max to run, but before they could get far, they were caught. The whole group beat Charlie up and even pushed Max down. Charlie fought back, but they robbed him of all their prize money. That night, Charlie realized that he was a bad guy who did not deserve to be a good father. So he decided to contact Deborah to bring the boy to them, and also not to accept the remaining money from Marvin. In return, Max was extremely disappointed. The boy reacted violently and asked him to let him stay by his side. They still had to work together to realize their dream of making Adam the reigning champion. Looking at the boy's pitiful eyes, Charlie wavered a bit, but in the end, he still let him go because he wanted the best for his son. Before leaving, Max choked up and said that he wanted Charlie to fight for him. That was all he wanted. On the way back, remembering the memories with Max and Adam, Charlie was extremely confused and sad, so he went to Talet's gym. Talet told Charlie that Max needed a father, not a rich life. But Charlie felt that he was not worthy of the boy. Talet said that what he needed to care about was Max's feelings, and to understand what the boy wanted. This advice lifted Charlie up. He hugged her, thanked her, and immediately went to find Max. When he met Max, Charlie tried to express all his regret. He apologized for all the hurt he had caused the boy, and now he had come to make amends. Behind Charlie was Adam, and the three of them were about to step into the arena again. This moved the boy deeply, and fortunately, Deborah was a kind and understanding woman. She allowed and supported the father and son. On the day of the match, people flocked to the New York arena, excitedly discussing the two fighters. Not long after, Adam's team stepped into the ring as the challengers, receiving a lot of cheers from the crowd. However, Farah let the host continuously praise Zeus while looking down on Adam. Outside, Ricky also arrived, confidently betting $100,000 that Adam would not make it past the first round. Inside, Zeus appeared, described by the host as an undefeated god of war. As soon as the match started, Adam took a punch from Zeus and fell face down on the floor. But after being urged by Charlie, he propped himself up with his hands. Before he could stand up completely, he was punched repeatedly by Zeus and forced into a corner. Despite Charlie's efforts to help Adam escape the corner, He was knocked down and fell to the floor 3 times. With Max's strong encouragement, Adam heard them and stood up again. This time, he successfully landed a punch from below to Zeus's jaw, which truly stunned Zeus. Everyone was surprised. For an outdated machine like Adam, even touching Zeus was already a significant achievement. Taking this opportunity, Adam continuously attacked, putting pressure on Zeus and forcing him into the corner, much to everyone's astonishment. However, Zeus quickly reversed the situation, forcing Adam into the corner and launching a series of punches with both hands. The bell rang to end the first round, and Adam was still on his feet. Charlie and Max were worried. They climbed up to the private stands. Ricky panics and tries to run away, but fails because Finn said someone to monitor everything first. Charlie and Max quickly replaced the battery and reconnected Adam before the second round started. It seemed that Farah realized the danger, as they both whispered something ambiguous to each other. In the second round, Zeus threw Adam around like a can, but Adam responded with a series of punches to Zeus's face. And the new round began. Zeus's attacks dented Adam's chest, but he was still able to counterattack. He was knocked down, but managed to stand up again. In the middle of the fourth round, Zeus began to unleash his death blow, focusing on Adam's head, causing his voice recognition device to malfunction. Adam could not hear Charlie at all. Max suggested switching to simulation mode, with Charlie helping him in this final round. Charlie initially wanted to refuse, but once again surrendered to his son's earnest gaze. In the match, Adam returned the favor, landing several blows on Zeus. Everyone quickly realized that it was simulating Charlie. However, Adam was still cornered while Zeus kept hitting him. He could only use both hands to block his head. Machido urged the Zeus controller to try to defeat Adam as quickly as possible. Machido thought they had a sure win, but unexpectedly fell into Charlie's trap. Charlie just wanted to make Zeus use up all his energy, so he gradually slowed down. Finally, with the cheers of the entire arena, Adam punched Zeus, causing him to fall backward. Machido panicked and quickly turned on the simulation mode, hoping to save the situation. But it was all in vain, because fighting a promising fighter like Charlie was like throwing eggs at a rock. He seemed to see himself in the stands. For the first time, the boy saw his father so majestic. The joy was so overwhelming that Max burst into tears. He wished he could be by his father's side sooner, but it didn't matter because he had already witnessed that day. After many extremely fierce blows, Charlie finally delivered the decisive blow. Using all his strength, he knocked down Zeus, although Zeus still stood up before the final bell rang. The match was a draw, and the judges still decided that Zeus had won. This made the entire arena dissatisfied, but they also understood the reasoning behind this result. Although they had won the championship, they could only leave in disgrace. While Adam was recognized as the champion in everyone's hearts, the father and son hugged each other, held Adam's hand, and burst into joy at their victory. The movie ended here. Real Steel is a very meaningful film, showing us how influential faith and hope can be. Never give up on your dreams. Everyone deserves a chance to correct their mistakes. Sometimes life will crush you in its own way, but only you can accept defeat or stand up bravely. Adam, despite being just a mindless robot, but seems to be able to feel human emotions. Adam is also Max's savior, so no matter how much anyone offers to buy him, Max still decides not to betray the savior who saved his life. He believes that Adam is a very special robot. Thank you for your support. If you find this interesting, please give me a like and leave a comment about the movie. Also, please subscribe to the channel to follow my latest movie summaries. See you again.